Hey, what's up? It's Karen San Diego, and today's video is going to be about why losing weight naturally didn't work for me. I'm doing this video because I noticed a lot of comments, not just on my content, but on anybody who makes content related to VSG, asking, why didn't you just go to the gym? Why did you take the easy way out? Why did you not just eat better and diet? Why didn't you do XYZ? All these different things that people deem to be losing weight naturally, and asking people who have had weight loss surgery why they didn't go that route. Now, I can't speak for every single person who has had weight loss surgery, so I can only speak for myself. So I'm going to be talking about, for me personally, the reasons that losing weight naturally did not work for me. Now, just to be clear, before getting VSG surgery, I did attempt to lose weight naturally multiple times, more times than I could probably even count. And I was successful a few times. There was a time when I was about 19 years old where I was able to naturally lose 75 pounds on my own. There was another time where I was on keto. At that time, I lost about 35 to 40 pounds naturally on my own. However, both of those times, after I stopped doing the extremely restrictive diets that was getting me the weight loss that I got, I immediately gained back all of the weight that I had lost and then some. And there's some actual scientific reasons for this that do not include me just being greedy and lazy. So I wanted to just first talk about the first thing that caused me to have difficulty losing weight naturally, and not just losing weight naturally, but keeping weight off long term. And that is my PCOS. PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, is a hormonal disorder that causes enlarged ovaries and or cysts that grow all around the ovaries. Because of the hormones produced by these cysts, there are a lot of things that can happen for women who have this disorder. One of the main things that happens as a result of these cysts is weight gain. And the weight gain is because many times people with PCOS have insulin resistance, which causes the pancreas to create more insulin, and increased insulin causes increased fat storage as well as increased hunger, making it difficult not only for people who have PCOS to lose the weight, being that insulin is causing more fat to be stored than normal, but also makes it really, really hard for them to stick to low-calorie diets because of the increased hunger due to the increased insulin. Now, does that mean that everybody with PCOS will be overweight? No, but for some people with PCOS, they can find it difficult to lose weight or to maintain a healthy weight. The problem with PCOS is a lot of doctors don't know a lot about it. I personally was not diagnosed with PCOS until right before I got pregnant with my daughter. She's 3 years old. So just around 3 or 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with PCOS. However, for my entire life, I've been going to the doctor, complaining about my weight, trying to find things that I could do, going to the GYN, having ultrasounds done. And from a very young age, I want to say I was probably in my teens when a doctor first noticed the cysts on my ovaries, but didn't think anything of them, mentioned it, but kind of said it was nothing, and never even brought up PCOS until years and years and years later when I was trying to conceive and having difficulty. And another side effect of PCOS is unexplained infertility. So that is when I got actually diagnosed, but this is something that I was dealing with my entire life and something that was interfering with my weight my entire life, and I had no clue. There are a lot of studies that prove that having weight loss surgery can help to reverse some of the side effects of PCOS, including weight gain, being that when the percentage of your stomach that is taken out after VSG surgery happens, a lot of the hunger hormone is also taken out, which can reverse the side effects of having increased hunger due to increased insulin. And also, weight loss surgery helps you reduce the amount of fat that is being stored. So having weight loss surgery does help reverse some of the side effects of PCOS, such as weight gain. Outside of just my PCOS, I also have a family history of people being overweight. So that just goes into genetics. People who have people in their family who are overweight are more likely to be overweight. Now, in my family in particular, on both sides of my family, there aren't any or many people who are morbidly obese. Mostly just people who are just overweight, not extremely big, but overweight. And that is going to interfere with my genetics. In particular, a lot of people on both sides of my family struggle with their weight as far as consistently going up and down in weight, not maintaining a stable weight. That is something that I notice on both sides of my family and something that I've struggled with my entire life. On top of that, genetically on both sides of my family, diabetes runs in my family on both sides. And diabetes is also known to cause weight gain, since diabetics have a higher chance of storing sugar versus burning sugar, and sugar is stored as fat. So not only am I more likely to be storing more fat because of my PCOS, but the fact that I am was pre-diabetic before surgery and have a genetic predisposition to diabetes, my body is also more likely to store fat versus burning fat. And before I continue with this list, I just want to make it very clear that none of these things mean that it was impossible for me to lose weight on my own. I'm just talking about why it was more difficult for me than it would be for somebody who does not have these things. All right, so next on my list is depression. So I struggled with depression for a good amount of time, but my depression got incredibly amped up after I lost a child. So I have talked about this briefly before, and I don't want to go too far into it right now because I'm still at a place where if I talk about it for too long, I will cry. I have a condition called incompetent cervix, and because of that condition, it causes me to go into labor prematurely. For my daughter Ryan, that you guys have seen on my channel, I had to have a cerclage placed to stop me from going into labor early. I did still end up going into labor early, but not until later in my pregnancy when everything was healthy. But with my first daughter, I went into labor at 20 weeks and we lost her. And after that happened, I went into an extreme depression. I had lots of thoughts of feeling like I wish it was me instead of her. And because of that, I just stopped caring about myself. During that time period, I noticed that I was getting bigger. And during that time period, I did try a few things to try to lose weight naturally. But the depression would just take over constantly. I would start something and then get in my own way and just really start feeling down about myself. And then I used food to cope with that feeling. So even though I was aware that I needed to lose weight, even though I was trying to lose weight, struggling with extreme depression made me turn to food as a way to cope with the way that I was feeling. And it was honestly the only thing that was comforting to me. It's one of those situations where, yes, you know that coping with food is not the healthiest way to do things. However, at the time, the mental state of mind that I was in at that time, I was not in a place to be able to resist the urge to comfort myself with food. And for me, this looked a lot like eating fast food and comfort foods, Caribbean foods, mac and cheese, soul food, things that just were honestly not very healthy for me, but were making me feel better on the inside. But then the downside to that is I would feel better in that moment and then immediately start feeling bad about my decision to eat whatever it is that I ate, which would just cause me to spiral further and further into depression, which would then cause me to start eating emotionally more and more and more. And this went on for years. Honestly, even after Ryan was born, I still was not feeling 100% like myself. I had the depression of losing a child and then the anxiety of having this new, beautiful child that I was so scared of doing something wrong and felt unworthy. And I was just not in a good place mentally. And food was literally the only thing that was making me be able to cope with the feelings that I was feeling on the inside. The next reason that losing weight naturally didn't work for me is because honestly, I didn't think that it was going to work. So every single time I would enter into these diets, I had it in my mind that, I was going to try my hardest, but I never saw an end goal where I was going to be at my goal weight or that I was going to achieve my goals. I thought I kind of always entered into it mentally feeling like I was going to fail. And I think that played a huge part in why I did inevitably fail every single time, because I thought I did. I am a huge believer in the fact that your thoughts become your reality. And when you're constantly negatively speaking about yourself and negatively speaking about the path that you're going on, speaking negativity into your life, that's what manifests, right? So during this time period, because I was so depressed and so down on myself, I was literally my worst enemy, to the point where I would sabotage my own diets because deep down, I never thought that they were going to work in the first place. With natural diets, food is for fuel. We should be able to look at food as fuel and not for enjoyment. But let's be real, food is also for enjoyment. We use food to celebrate. We use food, as a way to bring ourselves joy. We make special recipes and have all these different type of things. And the way my body is set up, when before surgery, if I was to eat anything outside of a very, very, very restricted diet, I would gain weight. And for most of my life, I had no clue that a big part of the reason that my body worked like that was because of the way my body processes insulin and the fact that it was storing more fat than it should. But for most of my life, I didn't know that. So I just knew that if I ate very, very strictly, I would lose weight. And if I ate anything outside of that, I would gain weight. And that was just my reality without understanding why. So I just knew that there was no way that any diet was gonna work for me, because sure, I could lose weight for a while, but the moment I went back to regular eating, I just knew that I would gain the weight back. So I would go into every single diet thinking that way, and inevitably, that's why those diets did not work for me. I simply did not think they would. And to an extent, I was right, because for me, the only way for me to naturally maintain weight loss is for me to remain extremely, extremely strict. And to me, that's not a way that I want to necessarily live. I want to be able to live where I can eat healthy, and every now and then I can indulge, and I can do both in moderation and maintain a healthy lifestyle. The way that things were before, I wasn't able to do that. One, is it possible that I could have ate healthy most of the time, had whatever I wanted to have in moderation, and still lost weight? Possibly, right? However, mentally, I was not in a place where that was going to work out for me. And then also, I had certain medical conditions that were working against me to make that possible, if that makes sense. And I also want to make sure that I'm making it clear that when it comes to where I was at before surgery, if there's a diet that I could have tried before surgery, I tried it. Trust me, I tried them all. I did keto, I did Atkins, I did paleo, I did OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I did the cabbage soup diet cleanse thing. I was vegan, vegetarian. I did Weight Watchers. I did diet pills, which I don't recommend, but I've done that. I've done intermittent fasting. And the list just can go on and on and on. If there's a diet, I did it. But yeah, those things just simply did not work for me. And I think that is a great place for me to mention the weight loss surgery is the easy way out comment, right? Because I think I have kind of like a controversial view on this, in that, yeah, for me, yes, it was an easy way out. For me, the hard way of losing weight would have been to stick to a very, very strict diet, eating a very small amount of calories, and not indulging in any foods outside of the foods allowed by that restrictive diet for the rest of my life. That would have been the alternative for weight loss surgery for me. And for me, that is not sustainable. For me, that sounds miserable. For me, that is not something that I think can bring me joy, other than the joy of seeing how I look now. With my surgery, after having VSG, I can eat whatever I want to eat in moderation and I don't gain weight. So as long as I keep my portions small, I can still enjoy food. I can still enjoy life. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel restricted. All of those issues that I had before are now gone. I'm able to live a healthy lifestyle while still enjoying food and still being able to be happy. So was it the easy way out? For me, it was the way that made sense for me. It was the way that was going to give me my life back. Was getting surgery easier than living a life where I would never be able to enjoy food again? Yeah. Is that easier? Yeah. But why is it? Why is it that in life we're constantly being told that in order to achieve success, we have to take the hard road? Why is that? Why is it that we're conditioned to believe that doing something to make it easier for you to achieve your goals is a negative thing? Also, I think that a lot of people who say, well, that you're just taking the easy way out, I think a lot of people that think that way are thinking that we get surgery and are skinny tomorrow. That you just wake up out the hospital bed and you're just skinny the next day and you didn't work for it. So while, yes, choosing the lifestyle to get VSG surgery versus losing weight naturally, was that easier for me? Yes. However, this journey is not easy. It's far from easy. It still takes a lot of dedication that not everybody has. If you notice, if you look online and look at people who have got this surgery, there are people who are able to achieve amazing things, and there are people who don't. And a lot of the times, the people that don't, it's because the mental aspects of how you got overweight in the first place sometimes is very, very difficult to break those bad habits. And there are a lot of people who can't. And literally, it is an ongoing battle to be able to fight food addiction, to be able to fight past medical conditions, to be able to fight past pain that you may have suffered from being overweight for a long time and trying to get into a routine working out, trying to learn how to eat such small portions, trying to learn how to deal with all of the changes that are happening in the beginning. Adjusting to this new lifestyle is just simply not easy. And a lot of people do even fail with weight loss surgery. However, a lot of people don't. And for me, so far, this journey has been successful. And I believe that that has been because I knew it would be. The same way I said that when I was failing in my weight loss journey, it was because I didn't think I could. The difference with VSG for me is from the moment I decided to get this surgery, I knew it was going to be successful. Like from the first time I thought, okay, I'm going to schedule my consultation, I did so without doubt. I did so knowing that this was going to be what was going to work for me. And I went into it with that confidence and that intention that my life was going to change now. For me, while yes, I do agree that this surgery is like an easy way out for me, because the alternative would have been something that would have been nearly impossible for me given my medical history, right? However, I don't believe that this journey is easy. I don't know in what world we think that getting 80% of your stomach cut out of your body, you having to restrict yourself to very, very small portions, you having to deal with physical pain if you don't follow the things that you need to follow literally for the rest of your life. Such as, like, if I eat and I drink something right afterwards, if I eat something spicy, I gotta sit in that. I cannot drink anything or else I will be in physical pain. That is not easy. The mental things changes, and I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, but the mental changes that happen as a result of the surgery, the body dysmorphia, all of that, it's not easy. The road through VSG is not easy. The decision to get VSG because I needed to change my life, that was the easy part. To me, VSG is not a cheat. To me, VSG is an accountability partner. So whereas if naturally I had no surgery, I had decided to just eat small portions for the rest of my life, could I have done that? Yeah. Would that have been easy? No. That would have been extremely difficult. With your entire stomach there, being able to eat small portions, I would have been hungry all the time. I would have been miserable. I would not have been able to go about normal life. Since so much of my stomach was removed, when I eat my small portions, that is satisfying for my stomach, for the size of my stomach. And that makes it easier for me to maintain my weight loss and for me to maintain and keep up with my goals. So I see it as accountability partner. I know that for me to lose weight consistently and to maintain weight loss, I have to eat a certain amount of food. I have to eat a small amount of food. My sleeve is there to be like, girl, you cannot eat not another bite. And literally, physically, I cannot, because I have this accountability partner in my stomach that is stopping me from doing that. And sometimes mentally, I still end up back in a bad place where I want to use food for comfort. But once again, I have this accountability partner in my stomach who is stopping me from overdoing it. And in some cases, stopping me from doing it at all, because certain things, if I overindulge in that, I'm going to get sick because of the accountability partner that I have in my stomach. So for me, it's a tool. And I say it's a tool because there's a lot of people that, even given the physical pain that you will suffer if you don't stick to your portions and stick to eating good things, you can eat bad things in moderation, but if you overdo it, you can get really sick. You can get some serious physical pain. And there are people who have not moved past the food addiction to the point where they will push themselves past all of that, past the pain, past the discomfort, past the sickness, to continue to overeat and emotionally eat. So while this tool I have in my stomach is an accountability partner for me, it's still possible to ignore it and to continue to not do the right thing. But for me, I have been able to be lucky enough to have been able to work through a lot of my mental issues that was causing my food addiction, to the place where this accountability partner has helped me stay focused. And honestly, the surgery saved my life. Without like sugarcoating that or anything else, the surgery saved my life. I was not in a good place. This surgery saved my life and made it possible for me to live as me again. And for that, I am forever grateful to this surgery. And if I had the chance to decide to go back and choose a different path, I wouldn't. I would do this again and again and again, any chance that I got. It was the best decision I've ever made for myself. And I know I'm gonna ruffle a few feathers by saying that yes, it is the easy way out, but I just want to make it clear that by no means am I saying that this is easy. By no means that am I saying that this is cheating. Because none of those things are true. But the easy way out, as in easier than choosing to live in a body that makes me miserable. The easy way out, as in choosing to do something that's actually going to work for me and my body. Was that easier than doing things that I knew weren't going to work for my body based off of my genetics, my health history, and my body that I've learned through living in it? Was it easier than me choosing a life of extremely restrictive diets that don't allow me to continue to find joy in food, something that culturally I have found joy in for most of my life? Yeah, it was easier to choose something that allows me to still enjoy food in moderation and not gain weight. So yeah, that's a hell of a lot easier for me. But do not get it twisted. Nothing about this journey itself is easy. Nothing about this journey itself is cheating. Nothing about this journey is anything other than a tool to help you reach your goals and to help you be the healthiest version of yourself if you are somebody that would benefit from having this surgery. Are there people out there who were able to reach their goals naturally and didn't have any of the problems that I had? Sure, yes there are, but those people are not me. And if you are somebody who was thinking about this surgery and you're thinking about all the people that you know have done it naturally, those people are not you. You have to know what is best for you and make the decision that is best for you. And whether that means to get the surgery or not, that's up to you. But this journey is about what you need for yourself and not the opinions of others. So even though I'm making this video addressing the constant comment of VSG surgery is the easy way out and you didn't need that to do that, all you had to do is diet and exercise, I'm making this video to educate, not to respond to negativity, because I personally don't even always see it as negativity. I think a lot of people genuinely don't know about the struggles some people have with weight loss, and I'm making this video to educate people who may genuinely just not realize how harmful the words that they say are, may genuinely not realize how incorrect they are. I tend to be the type of person who likes to assume the best in people's intentions. So when I see those comments, I'm not mad at it. I literally want to teach you that, hey, while yes, some people can lose weight naturally and that is something that is possible for them and maintainable for them, but for other people like myself, it's just simply not that simple. I hope this video was useful. If maybe you had some people telling you about VSG being the easy way out and you were feeling a little bit down about that, or maybe you're considering the surgery and have had these thoughts, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why it didn't work for me. Maybe it resonates with you. Maybe you can share this video with somebody who may not understand why you want to get this surgery. Regardless of what you want to use this video for, I hope that you liked it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.
Where in the world is Karen San Diego? From BK to Belly, it's anywhere she say so. She changing your life, can see it straight through her eyes.